Okay, y'all. So Game of Thrones episode season 1, episode 2. Okay, so let's talk about it, y'all. So Ned makes a decision to go on ahead to King's Landing with Robert Baratheon, his best friend, as the hand of the king. Okay. So the episode just opens when they at the east with Daenerys for them, but I'll get with that. But they packing up, getting ready to go. Okay, over to King's Landing or whatever. John is about to go to the Night's Watch because he's not staying in Winterfell with Catherine and her little hateful self towards him, right? So, um, as they getting ready to go or whatever, um, John ends up giving Arya her first sword made for her because she want to be a fighter. She a tomboy. She don't want to be making clothes and stitching clothes like Arya. She want to, you know, be a boy for real and do fighting and stuff. Like she just rough like that. So they find out that Bran is alive, but he's in the coma or whatever. So Cersei and them talking at breakfast like, oh, it's sad. Why would they let him sit in the coma or whatever? They should just end his life. You know what I'm saying? Because if he do wake up, he gonna be a cripple. They just don't want him to tell their secret or whatever. So as they all departing and stuff, Catherine is saying goodbye to Ned, and she's upset that he's leaving because she's like, "You leaving me, and the last time you left me, you brought home somebody else's child." So like that. I don't like this filter for real, but yeah, she like the last time you left me, you brought home somebody else's child. Now you're about to leave me again. Like you don't gotta go. You could just say you don't want to go or whatever. But he still ended up going and all that. So everybody departing and leaving. As they about to leave, um, John asks about his mother. So he like, does my mother know anything about me? Does she know where I'm going? Does she know like where I'm, anything really? Because he don't know anything about her. And Ned promises to tell John everything about his mom when he sees him again. Okay. So they all end up going their separate ways. So while they on their journey to King's Landing, they make a stop or whatever. Robert gets um Robert gets a note in the mail about Daenerys across the Red Sea marrying Khal Drogo, and now they have Khal Drogo's army. And Robert is worried. He's like, "Oh, we need to stop that because if she have a baby, then it's going to be a problem. She's going to be having more Targaryens, and he really can't stand the Targaryens based off of because what I said in the last episode, the Mad King had basically killed Lyanna Stark, which is Ned Stark's sister. Well, she didn't kill him. She died from childbirth, right? But they think that she had something to do with it because well, her and Rhaegar was together or whatever, and she ended up dying after childbirth or whatever. But and Ned no, but Ned ain't telling her, right? But Ned ain't telling him, but basically he don't like them because he feel like they took Ned's sister away from him, and because they had killed Ned's father and brother or whatever. So that's how Robert ended up getting the throne because the Mad King ended up dying and he ended up taking over the throne. So that's the reason why Viserys and not even really Daenerys right now, but that's why Viserys is gung ho on getting to King's Landing so he can get the throne back or whatever. So Ned is telling him like, well, she's not going to be a problem. They can't even get across the sea. You know, the Dothraki army, they only ride on horseback. They don't have no ships. They don't have no way to get across the sea. And if they do get across the sea, then we'll deal with that problem when it come or whatever. But Robert is trying to tell him, like, you know, you need to be up on game because war's coming. I don't know when. I don't know who we going to be fighting, but we going to be fighting somebody, right? So then we get to Joffrey and Sansa is taking a little walk or whatever, trying to get to know each other and stuff like that. Now Arya and the butcher's boy is fighting on, you know, by the river or whatever. They just having a time fighting, play fighting with swords or whatever the case may be. So Joffrey sees them and steps in and talk about he want the butcher's boy to put up a sword and fight him, but the butcher's boy scared. Like he like, I'm not trying to fight you, you the prince for real. So then Joffrey take his sword and start cutting the boy face or whatever. So Arya had beat the shit out of Joffrey ass, like after he was messed with her friend. So then Joffrey had pulled out his sword on Arya, and then Nymeria, Arya's wolf, had bit the shit out of Joffrey, right? And he was cowering like a little bitch. So then Arya had picked up the sword and was like pointing it at Joffrey. And Joffrey was crying like it wasn't nothing, like he was a little punk for real. I'm like, look at this little punk ass motherfucker, right? That's just one of the good scenes to see if you know his character arc. Like, it's just good to see him get punked for real. And then he got punked in the beginning of the episode because his nephew smacked the shit out of it. I mean, his uncle Tyrion, the little one, he smacked the mess out of his ass. Told him because he told him that he needed to go and give his condolences for Bran because Bran fell. So he needed to go to the mother and say, you know, my condolences that your child fell or whatever. We gonna be praying for you, yada yada yada, right? So yeah, so he got punked in that episode or whatever the case may be. Went and cried to his mother and his father, and all this and that. So then, they ended up. So then, let me talk about Cersei. Before they had left, Cersei had a conversation with Catherine, and she revealed that she was pregnant with Robert's child, but the baby didn't make it or whatever. And that was like the more closest that her and Robert had been with each other or whatever the case may be since that happened or whatever and stuff like that. So they ended up they sent a killer to go and get Bran while he's in the coma or whatever and attacked him. So as they were trying to attack them, Catherine don't play by her kids. Let me tell you, Catherine don't play by her kids. She defended her son and all that. And then his wolf came in and attacked the man that was trying to get him, and he got gone, okay? So then Catherine had went around the tower looking and trying to figure out what the hell went on with her son. And she ended up finding the blonde hair in there. And she was like, she told the people that she was close to and her son, she was like, her oldest son, Rob, she was like, them Lannisters had did something to my son. He didn't just fall. Somebody pushed him out this window. So Joffrey had went and told his parents that, you know, the wolf had bit him and a whole bunch of lies or whatever the case may be. So they did or whatever. Arya ready to beat the mess out of him again in front of his mother and his father, right? But in the end or whatever, Cersei wanted payback for what happened to Joffrey. So Ned ended up having to kill the direwolf. Nymeria, which was the one that bit him, got away. Arya sent her ass into the woods and into hiding, so they had to get Sansa's direwolf and kill her. So Ned did that on his own. And then as soon as Ned did that, that's when Bran woke up out the coma, and that was the end of the episode. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about the episode. Y'all go rewatch it like I'm watching it, rewatching it. And if you ain't watching, y'all go watch it. Go ahead and like the video.